Hi everyone. Today you are going to continue working on memoirs. If you have not yet gone back and redone the other assignment about what is a memoir, I'm going to ask that you do that because you will not have a strong foundation to do this assignment. So you should go back and redo the first assignment called What is a Memoir? Watch that extra guidance that I've given you. Now that you have a pretty good idea of what a memoir is and the features that are common to all memoirs, I have listed 5 features that are super important. Now, there's a lot of advice given out there, but I've listed 5 features of memoirs. One of them being it is about a specific memory. It typically is centered around a strong emotion. It will show vulnerability. In other words, the author is writing about a time that they aren't at their best, but they did learn something. It typically has really good specific details that helps readers picture the story in their minds, in other words, imagery. There's typically a lesson that's learned, something that is broad enough that the readers could also apply it to their own lives. Kind of like in Me and the Geography Bee, where the author talks about, sometimes we make a bigger deal about things in our own heads than it actually is. We think it's going to be super embarrassing, and then it turns out nobody even noticed. That's something that we could all apply to our lives. So you're going to read 2 memoirs of your choice. I'll show you that in a moment. But this blue text here is a link to many that you could choose from. You're going to reflect over the features or the big ideas of the memoirs and identify the features in the memoirs you chose to read. Make sure you answer all portions of each question. So when you pick them, you're going to put the title right here. If it's about a memory, what is the memory of this memoir? And you're going to write. So if it was Me and the Geography Bee, you'd write it was about some kid participating in the Geography Bee and doing terrible. That's what I'm talking about. But when you click on this link, you're going to see another document with a lot of choices. So I want you to be able to read something that seems interesting to you. So on here, I have 9 that you can choose from, but you only need to read 2. One is called Bitter Fruit, and this is a memoir about a girl remembering her uncle. She found out some surprising information about him long after his death. So just ignore this part that says green printed on the same page. That's something that I'm using for the in-person students. A Lighthouse in Hurricane Harvey. This is a memoir about a girl's family surviving a hurricane. Digging Myself Up. This is a memoir about a boy describing having gender dysphoria. Why I Hid My Lunch. This is a memoir about a girl being embarrassed about her lunch because it was from a different culture. Conceit and Defeat. This is a memoir about a football player who gets a college offer because he's so good. Saying Goodbye to Ballet. This is a memoir about a girl quitting ballet. The C Word. This is a memoir about a girl who has cancer. Numbers on a Scale is a memoir about a girl who is very self-conscious about her weight. And Your Locker, Now That You're Gone. This is a memoir about a girl whose friend, and we put that in quotes, moved away. This means maybe that person wasn't such a good friend, but she was calling her a friend. All of these have been written in a publication called Teen Inc., and it is a publication written entirely by teens for teens. So that's why I was hoping that you might find something that is particularly interesting to you. So all of these are, links. When you click on it, you're going to be able to find the memoir, and you just read it, and you are looking for these characteristics. So after you read it, you're looking for, well, what is the memory that they're describing? What is a strong emotion that comes through, and what's a quote that shows that emotion? In what way is the author open and honest or showing that vulnerability? Find a particular line or 2 that have really good detail. You're like, ooh, that's good description. I can really visualize that. And then what is the lesson that this author learns? And then there's a page 2 right there. You go. You're going to do it again. So of the 9, you only need to read 2. What I hope is 1, that you enjoy reading some memoirs, and 2, that you can see a pattern of what characteristics or what features will be in most memoirs. All right, I hope you enjoy. Good luck.